Before I could get the goal-setting survey out, I was scheduled for a professional development slot. These occur once a week on Tuesdays and are called PIP. Even while MAP testing was still occurring, I was delivering my first PIP for teachers. It was on how to interpret MAP scores, and it was to fill in teachers on some of the new initiatives associated with MAP dictated by central office. One of those was a new scale by which to measure student performance. It was basically showing that RIT scores higher than the national norm were the scores students who went on to college received. If our students struggled with just meeting the norm, and almost 50% of the students in grades 6 and 7 were achieving below grade level on the reading and math MAP, this piece of information was going to be devastating. I dreaded presenting it, but had to. I believe the LEMS teachers were under the delusion that most of our students at least read on grade level. MAP showed this to not be the case. This presentation also required a survey after it was completed. More teachers responded to this time. Most of them indicated they understood the new college and career-ready benchmark scores. They didn't agree with them, but they understood them. One of the walkways from the survey results was that teachers needed more help with the redesigned learning continuum. This interactive document contains learning statements for any level of RIT scores. This information shows which skills students are typically ready to learn. Any work on the learning continuum, however, was not going to be in a large group format as this presentation had been. Once introduced, working one-on-one with teachers was the best next step for that interactive tool. Around the end of October, I was slotted again to present during a PIP, to now show how the MAP data could be used in the CFIP process. This PowerPoint painted a whole grade level and then classroom level of student performance. It was an uncomfortable but very informative presentation. For most classes, regardless of content, teachers were working with 40 to 50% of their students performing below or far below grade level in either math or reading. This was eye-opening for the teachers. I also showed them that on the other end of the spectrum, in some of their grade level classes, they had students performing significantly above grade level and could probably be more challenged. They also saw how in the GT classes there were students who possibly didn't belong there, or they needed a conference about their effort on MAP. Overall, these teacher-focused PIP sessions opened dialogue between content teachers, grade level groups, and overall as a school. Also, much dialogue was opened with students about their own learning curves. As the students began to fully understand the benefits of what teachers were using the data for, they became very aware that they needed to give their best effort on this particular assessment. In the midst of preparing these series of presentations for PIP, a light bulb went off in my head that while what I was doing made perfectly good sense to the veteran staff of LEMS, we had undergone a huge staff turnover from the previous school year to this school year. Almost our entire related arts staff was new, as well as the math staff. ELA, social studies, and science had new teachers. Even my own team had a new reading specialist. The new teachers, all of whom, except for one, were either new to teaching or new to Howard County, really didn't know the full story behind MAP, or, in other words, they had missed 2 years of MAP PIPs and MAP implementation. Not that I was totally blind to the new teachers. I had created an electronic document in GAFE that included all the domains of the Danielson Teacher Evaluation System. This served the purpose of giving these new and veteran teachers who are in their evaluation year a place to house their artifacts until they needed them for Teachscape uploading. However, once I realized the MAP gap, I did a quick check of my options to catch the new teachers up. First, I thought about the implications of holding another meeting. That was the last thing this group of teachers needed. Second choice was designing a flipped PD on the background of map that allowed them the opportunity to watch when they chose. It then occurred to me that even for the veteran staff members, having a resource like this to refer back to was a good idea. The next PowerPoint was born. I carefully crafted this PowerPoint with ease of use in mind. That meant that teachers would not have to go through it in a linear fashion to get information. Filled with action buttons, teachers could jump forward to a slide to which I was referring and then right back to the page they were reading. One of the mistakes I made, however, was not forming a partnership with the Teacher Development Liaison, or TDL. Her leadership position is to guide new teachers through their untenured years to make sure they are supported with new initiatives, classroom behavior techniques, and a variety of other issues that come up in the life of a new teacher. This was the perfect person with whom I should have shared my ideas and PowerPoint. While there was no official time in her predetermined meetings to present the PowerPoint, she could have introduced it and guided the new teachers to where it was available. Time, however, was my enemy, and I hoped that sending out an email explaining the purpose of the PowerPoint to the new teachers, and also veteran staff, would be enough. I'm certain it wasn't. But as part of my reflection on this part of my internship, I have already moved forward to next year and how to handle this situation. The TDL and I have made preliminary plans to put together an electronic welcome packet for new teachers, a GAFE-based resource place where they can go to fill in the gaps that inevitably happen when a new staff member joins a school community.